Okay. Hello, everybody. So this is inspiration, obviously. I mean, we do this every Monday. So I am so excited tonight because I had someone reach out to me. And first of all, before I even tell you guys, who it is, I don't know if she's told anybody, but I am so like so proud of her. Because it takes a lot of momentum and it takes a lot of guts to get on a Zoom and just share. And I think when she reached out to me, she was leading from the heart. She was feeling something put on her heart and she's like, I just need to do this. So I think everyone on here should kind of like take this as an example. If you're not sharing on Zooms, if you are not speaking to our team, you are part of the team, and we are no more qualified like none of us are more qualified, right? So all of us have value and all of us should be getting out of our comfort zone, because that's kind of like the point of promoting, especially a product that is making us better, that is making us not only healthier but better. And so I just want to just tell her how absolutely proud I am. Like, I texted her, I was like, okay, you ready for tonight? Because I am so looking forward to this. So Lora is going to share with us tonight. I have no clue. She's not told me anything. I have no clue. So I'm going to be learning right along with you guys. And that's like my favorite part about having guest speakers, because I don't ask them to speak on anything specific, nor do I want to know, because I want to be on here like you guys. So Lora, I'm going to give you the floor. You have like our full attention. So.
Okay, well, she's trying to make me cry before this even starts. So like she said, I reached out to Haley. We were actually at Palooza and Gary John Bishop was literally in the middle of talking. And if you were on our recap, you guys know that he really spoke to me. And like while he's in the middle of talking, I just sent her a message. I'm like, I feel like I need to be on Inspiration with you. And then obviously we had all the recaps last week, so we didn't do it last week. So we decided we're going to do it again this week. And since then I had a one-on-one with Courtney, and that kind of solidified it even more that I needed to do this. I know some people on our team know, but not everybody does, that my middle daughter has cancer. She is a leukemia patient. We spend a lot of our time in hospitals. And when, I guess I should start more from the beginning, when she was first diagnosed, I went down to Memphis with my husband, without my husband. My husband stayed here with our other two kids, and I was alone at St. Jude in Memphis with her. I was more exhausted than I had ever been in my life. I actually had a safety action plan with a therapist that they set me up with. And if you don't know what that is, that means that I legitimately thought about taking my life while I was at St. Jude's, because I thought somebody else would do a better job at taking care of my daughter. Sorry. And that right there was my wake-up call, that I needed to do something better for myself. Alicia had been reaching out to me for 2 years. I literally have been following her since she started this journey. And I finally messaged her in October and I said, I need to do this. I need to do this for myself. I've watched you, I'm ready. So I started taking my Thrive in October. In January, I decided, because we were told that once we went home, we would never be able to really put her in a daycare setting for a while, because that's just, she has absolutely no immune system. That's just too much for her. I decided, because we need money, that this would be a good option for me. And then I let thing after thing after thing get in my way. I let every hospital stay, every fever, every tantrum, everything be an excuse as to why I couldn't put my all into promoting, why I couldn't do what I needed to and what needed to be done to actually bring in that income for my family that my family needs. And yes, I got my Maui gyms. Yes, I hit 4K, but after that, it kind of just went flat. I have not re-ranked since I hit 4K. And I just let everything that happens around me be an excuse. And it took me going to Palooza. It took me hearing Gary John Bishop be like, no, you need to look at yourself and say, I am willing or I am unwilling. Your life is a reflection of what you're willing to accept. And I have constantly been on a, yes, I want to lose weight. Yes, I want to do this. Yes, I want to do that. But if I don't reach that goal, I'm just like, oh, you know, it's all right. It's fine. I'll do it again later, or I'll get to it eventually. And that's not good enough. That's not good enough for anybody. And he had us write down, and I'm going to share a few of the ones that I wrote down. But he had us write down like what are you willing to accept, or what are you unwilling? And I want everybody to do that. I want you to think about, what is it that you are unwilling to put up with in your life? Because once you decide that you are unwilling to put up with it, that is you making a choice. That is your choice. You've made it. Then that's all 100% on you. There's nobody else to blame. And that's what I was doing. I was blaming the fevers. I was blaming the cancer. I was blaming people who just wanted to help, but I felt like they were being overbearing and wouldn't leave me alone. I was blaming my depression and my mental illness and not taking responsibility for the fact that me allowing those things to interrupt my life and interrupt the things that I wanted to do was 100% my choice. It's my choice whether or not I take my depression medication. It's my choice whether or not I go talk to the therapist. It's my choice whether I let somebody interrupt my day instead of being like, hey, I can't do this right now, which is exactly what Rachel and Krista said on Mindset. Like, you, if it doesn't help you vibrate on a higher level, you need to look at them and be like, I'm sorry, I don't have time for this right now. I need to do this for me. And I wasn't allowing myself to do that. I was allowing people to interrupt me. So a couple of the things that I wrote down while we were there, because I am unwilling to let people's opinions affect me. I'm unwilling to keep living paycheck to paycheck because, excuse my language, damn, it sucks. I'm unwilling to accept, sorry, that the weight won't go away. I literally have been told multiple times my entire life by my entire family, oh, it's just a genetic thing. We're just bigger people. I'm not willing to accept that anymore. It's not okay. I'm unwilling to allow myself to be a doormat. That's a huge one for me. I grew up watching my mother let people walk all over her. She still does it to this day. And in turn, that meant we got walked all over. And growing up, that was my example. So that's what I continue to do throughout my whole life. That's what I did in every relationship I was in, until I finally met my husband, who actually sits down with me and we have conversations, and I'm a person and he's a person and we respect each other. You do not have to allow people to walk all over you. You can make that choice. Another one was, I'm unwilling to live in the past. I know we've talked about that on Mindset before, about how you're choosing to let your past affect you right now. Everything that I have been through, everything that I have done, yes, I did it. Yes, it was there. Yes, it has helped shape me as the person I am today, but I don't have to continue to live there. I did that for a really long time. And anytime I think about myself, and I know, like, we always try to put ourselves out there as the people we are now, but it's always been in the back of my head, well, what if so-and-so pops on my post and says this? What if so-and-so brings this up? I made a lot of stupid choices when I was younger, and people will constantly remind me of it. And I have to remind myself that I'm not that person anymore. I can't let those things control me. And you can't either. Letting those things interrupt your life and be a part of your life now is just another excuse. I wrote down notes, sorry. I have to take notes. Another thing was I didn't think my story was important. I always talk about Everly's story. I always talk about what Everly goes through. I don't talk about what I go through, what I've went through, the things that I wrestle with daily. And that's another excuse, is me not thinking that's an important story. When I had my one-on-one with Courtney, she looked at me and she told me, you know, my story is important. My story needs to be told, because where I'm at right now is 100% more relatable for somebody that could be our customer than it is for somebody going, oh, look, I bought a Louis Vuitton. People that are where I'm at right now don't give two craps. So you need to know that your story is important. No matter how hard it is, no matter how much it hurts to talk about it, your story is important. Back in February during Childhood Cancer Awareness Day, or World Cancer Awareness Day, I told parts of my story for the very first time on Facebook. My grandmother sent me a message because she was like, I didn't know you went through all of that, because I wouldn't allow it to be put out there. I didn't want to be known as the cancer mom, because when I think about it, that's a negative thing. But you can take your negative and turn that around into a positive, because somebody needs to hear it. You might not ever know, and this is what Courtney told me the other day, you might not ever know that somebody heard your story, somebody read your story, somebody saw it, and you inspired them, you helped them to get over whatever it is that they're going through, or however it affects them. You might not ever know that, but you're also never going to do it unless you put it out there. Another thing that I let affect me a lot was every time we're inpatient, I use it as an excuse to not do my IPAs. Like, oh, we're sitting in a hospital room, I can't do that. That's bullcrap. That's the perfect time. I have all the time in the world. But I look at it as a woe is me thing, which is also another mindset thing. You've got to get over the fact that you're letting something negative affect you. Like, that's the perfect opportunity for me to be like, look, I can work from here, even though she's here. So think about when tough things pop up for you, something unexpected pops up for you. You're a thriver, you're in network marketing. You could look at it and be like, okay, this is rough. It threw a wrench in my day, but I'm going to turn it around. And then you can put it out there that, hey, look, this happened, but because I do this, I was able to handle it. I was able to make it work. Like, I post pictures with Everly and my TAC DFT all the time. Rarely do I post about working while I'm at the hospital, but that's something that I need to change. You also have to think about those experiences that you're going through and not talk down to yourself about them. Like, I have a really bad habit of telling myself that because we ended up in the hospital again because she had a fever, that I did something wrong. And so nobody needs to know about that because I did something wrong and somebody's going to think something bad about me. Who cares? Who cares? The right people are going to listen to your story. The right people are going to see what you are doing. And they're going to look at that and be like, wow, I could do that too. Wow, she took a really shitty situation and she turned that around into something positive. There is so much negativity in this world anymore. So many people continuously whining and complaining and bitching about something. But we can turn that around. That's a choice that we have. That's 100% a choice. And you need to make those choices day by day, situation by situation. And there may not be something that, there could be something that you're not willing to share right now. And that's totally fine. Like, I don't know if you guys watched the other day, but Courtney went live on her Facebook. And I watched it while we were in the hospital this last weekend. And like anybody else, if you've never met Courtney or you know Courtney from what we see on the chats, a lot of people think she's really intimidating. A lot of people don't relate to her on the level that she's at because she has matured so much mentally and emotionally, and she just knows herself and she knows what she wants and what she needs to do. And she was very vulnerable and very open. And I sat there and bawled in that hospital room while I was watching her video. And I thought about messaging her, but I didn't do it because I was worried about it, which was completely stupid because she's not going to be like, oh no, you shouldn't have messaged me after that. But she went through so much, and I was sitting there going, wow, I went through that too. Wow, I did that too. Somebody needs to hear what you've gone through. Somebody needs to hear what you're going through. And it doesn't matter how hard it is. It doesn't matter how ugly it is. You're a completely different person now. But that doesn't mean that your story is any less irrelevant because you're not that person anymore. That person got you to where you're at. And you need to let people know that. You need to let people know, yes, I did these stupid things, but look at what I did for myself. Look at where I'm at. You can do it too. That's the whole point of being inspirational, is taking a crappy situation, turning it around, growing, changing your life, changing yourself. I can't look at Haley right now. And letting everybody else out there who watches you know that you can do that too. It might take them a few times of hearing it. It might take them hearing it from somebody else. But eventually they're going to know, regardless if they ever follow you to become a promoter. Maybe you just help somebody turn their life around because they just need to hear your story. And as hard as it's going to be, that's something that I'm going to start doing more of. That's something we all need to start doing more of. Because believe it or not, there's a lot more people in this world going through very similar things than you think there are. Like, I am in so many groups with other moms going through what I'm going through. And they think the same thing I do, that, nobody wants to hear our story, but the part of it is our story is important because somebody else might look at it and be like, wow, what she's going through is really, really hard. And if she can turn that around into a positive, then what I'm going through, I can do the same thing. And that's all I got.
I'm having trouble breathing. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I've never heard you speak. And I thought I was proud of you before this Zoom. I couldn't even express in words right now how absolutely amazing you are. How brave you have to be to get on here and get out of that comfort zone. Like this Zoom, I lie to you not, this is why I felt like I need to do this, because our team, if anybody, our team needs to know you. And I feel like even from me, I know you a little deeper, on a deeper level now. So even you speaking touched me. And so I don't know if anyone else here feels that way. If you didn't know Lora really before she started talking, like we know her from being in the chat and we kind of know what's going on. But like she said, there's only certain things that she allows people to know. And all of us do that. All of us do, because we're ashamed of something, or we feel that it's not important, or no one can relate. Like she said, no one can relate to those stupid things we did, or those things that we didn't even think about, and we made the actions without even thinking about it. Because I'm sorry, but I even there, like even you saying that, I'm like, yeah, I've done some stupid stuff, and I haven't talked about it from fear of judgment. So even me, one of the most yellow transparent people ever, there are things that when she was talking, I'm like, wow, I haven't shared that part. There are things that my family doesn't know either. And so you getting on here and just deciding this, I I have no words for you right now other than I absolutely love you. All of us love you, and you are so freaking strong, because what you're going through right now and what you're battling right now, I'm a mother, and honestly, I couldn't even tell you how I would feel. I couldn't even wrap my head around that. And I think a lot of us on here could agree that takes some serious just motivation to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to do this. So I'm so proud of you. I know everyone on here is, and I'm just speechless. Like I feel like I can't breathe right now. I absolutely love you. Thank you so much for getting on here and sharing. And don't think this is going to be the last one. We're going to like brainstorm and start like talking more about inspiration, and could like, I don't know, maybe like co-hosting, every now and then. And so thank you guys so much for getting on here tonight. If you're proud of her, please put it in the chat here, put it in Thrive Army, because that took serious guts, like serious guts. Okay. So show her love. You guys, if anybody, we should be the ones that hold her up, because this is not an easy battle to be dealing with right now, and putting herself first, and promoting, and working on her health. That's a lot. So don't you ever think that you're not important, Lora, or your story. And I will see you guys next Monday. Take care of yourself and share your story.